Oh boy. Oh boy. I don't even know how to describe this one. This one is raunchy AF. Private Lessons. 1981. There's a 15-year-old boy standing atop some books or whatever. He falls in love with his French maid. This is every single teenage boy's fantasy come true from the 1980s, excluding all these psychological effects that would happen later in life. But yeah, this is just pure. Ooh, it is pure sleaze. Yeah, I mean, what can be said except when there's the boy that is when he's really falling in love with his French with this French maid. There's also his limousine driver that we think is wholesome, but he's trying to extort $10,000 because the French maid is there legally. So what follows is just an over-the-top, absolutely insane amount of things going on. I guess you could say one, the amount of nudity that the body double is used for the maid, you know. We get some very interesting scenes of in the bedroom. We get one of in the bathtub, yes, which she invites him to appear in the bathtub. And yeah, I mean, I think even in the kitchen at one point where I'm just thinking to myself, this movie is going it's definitely private, I'll say that. All the meanwhile, it's like, you know, obviously when you're like 15, teenage boys like 15, 16, sexuality is, when they're having the awakenings, I guess you could say, it is definitely, certainly a point in that time when, let's just say there are a lot of sticky pages of Playboy and Club International and Hustler. Let's just put it that way. But yeah, you know, he goes around telling his friend about what's going on, saying, hey, I had intercourse with my maid, and yeah, it was great. And the friend says, didn't you go all the way? At first, he didn't want to go all the way because he was scared, but then they do get a relationship going on. All the meanwhile, Lester, played by one of the DJs in WKRP in Cincinnati, with his beard and mustache that stands out, is trying to extort the money from him. So I was like saying, hey, yeah, I'm just thinking, yeah, this guy is evil, but rememberably evil. You can at least remember him. If anything, just for the fake mustache. I don't know, it was just funny. You know, about halfway through when our two characters are engaging in sex, think that the sex is so great that she dies of a heart attack, but she just fakes it. So they try and bury her body by putting her in like a deep freezer, you know, removing a whole bunch of TV dinners for whatever reason. I don't know, it just stood out to me. So yeah, just death by sex. That is indeed something maybe you see every day, maybe you don't, but it's pleasurable sex. So yeah, you know, as I'm just looking at him, like, this is an attractive man. I can't deny that. It's actually an English model or actress or something like that. I don't remember, but yeah, yeah. Of course, you know, there's the plot and everything of him trying to get all the money, but uh, when one of the next door neighbors comes in, you know, the friend comes in, you know, and comes to say that he has to try and pretend to be a cop. Yeah, he does a good convincing job of being a cop, you know, acting tough and everything. It's like saying, hey, I'm going to show you, like, but I'm not good enough to be tough. Well, I'll just go ahead and show you Dirty Harry. So I guess Dirty Harry is kind of motif in this, which, I don't know, it was just funny. So yeah, we get an interesting scene where she goes around, not really damage anything, but intimidates Lester Davis, the chauffeur, and it's just a bunch of hijinks and everything. It is crass. It's sleaze. Oh my word. Good fantasy, good song. Very specifically, fantasy by Earth, Wind, and Fire that plays. So we don't get to see any dialogue coming in from the actor, and I'm like, yeah, it relies a lot on music to fill in time. That I know, so it's just like, Okay, so you're just playing this song. You're playing Hot Legs. You're playing Rod Stewart, Earth, Wind, and Fire, and something else. I forgot what. It felt like it was trying to add some more padding to the movie to make it go by. And I'm like, I don't know. It just felt like it just made the movie drift for 5 minutes. Whatever. Yeah. The actor playing the kid is Eric Brown, who is most famous for playing Buzz, the first son on Mama's Family, and now hosts a podcast for non-profit communications companies, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, so please correct me. But yeah, if you want a freaking wild ride, obviously you have to take it in with like it's just over the topness, and I do recommend that you actually watch Private Lessons.